Child abuse can be physical, sexual, child exploitation, neglect, abandonment. We're one caring community. Please like, subscribe, and share. Please press the thumbs up. I would appreciate it. Randy Hames, a Cullman City, Alabama lawyer on trial for human trafficking and soliciting prostitution. I see right there, I've got to re-edit because I mistyped. That could be a country thing though, but it's listed. Matthew 18, verse 6. But whoso shall offend one of these little ones which believe in me, it were better for him that a millstone were hanged about his neck, that he were drowned in the depth of the sea. Matthew 18, verse 10. Take heed that you despise not one of these little ones, for I say unto you, that in heaven their angels do always behold the face of my Father which is in heaven. In Colossians 3:21, fathers, do not embitter your children, or they will become discouraged. In Isaiah 1:17, learn to do right, seek justice, defend the oppressed, take up the cause of the fatherless, plead the case of the widow. In Proverbs 28, verse 5, evil men understand not judgment, but they that seek the Lord understand all things. Under the Copyright Disclaimer, under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Hey there, amen to that. Amen. So there's Randy Hames. Hey there, Jackie. Good to see you too. Randy Hames, a Cullman, Alabama lawyer on trial for human trafficking and solicited prostitution. We'll present the screen. Okay. Here is the sorry piece of crap right here. Here's a sorry piece of crap right here. Let me go ahead and I have to mute my mic so that you'll be able to hear this. Oops, daisy.
Cullman attorney and landlord is on trial in federal court after tenants living on his property say he tried to exchange rent payments for sex. Randy Ames, owner of Ames Marina and RV Park on Smith Lake, is now charged with second-degree human trafficking, soliciting prostitution, and attempted sextortion. WAFF 48 Savannah Sapp joins us live. Savannah, you were inside the courtroom today where one woman testified that Ames also exposed himself to her just days later evicted her.
Yes, Margaret, the Department of Defense believes similar things have happened to at least 10 other women. Investigators say Hames, on multiple occasions, solicited sexual favors from his tenants in lieu of paying rent. They also say others were evicted for turning him down. Now, today, a witness took the stand who says she had an encounter with Hames when she was just 17 and living with her sister in Hames Trailer Park. The witness claims Hames came to the home one day to collect rent and ended up bringing her to a nearby trailer to discuss renting her own home. She testified that while the two were talking, Hames exposed himself to her and made other unwanted advances to her. After she refused, the witness says Hames left to use the restroom and she ran back to her sister's home. Days later, the witness says that she was evicted from the property. Prosecutors say Hames has done this or something similar to at least 10 other tenants who lived on the property between 2008 and 2018. They say Hames was mostly renting to people without having them sign leasing agreements. Prosecutors say he targeted women and girls under the age of 21. Now, Hames' defense team said during opening statements that federal prosecutors don't have enough evidence to be able to substantiate these claims against Hames. Reporting live in Huntsville, Savannah Sapp, 48 News, on your side.
We'll continue.
They always claim that there's not enough evidence. I hope y'all can hear me. He knew exactly what he was doing, and he was messing with minors as well. How sickening, y'all. And he's a lawyer. And he is a lawyer. The a Cullman County, a Cullman attorney currently stands before a federal jury for multiple sex crimes. Randy Hames, owner of Hames Marina and RV Park on Smith Lake, which I have been there. I've got a friend that lives on Smith Lake. I was there part of the time. That's where a friend of mine lives. Where to know that I was that close to a guy like this, very sickening. Was arrested in 2018 by the Cullman County Sheriff's Office. He was charged with second-degree human trafficking, solicited prostitution, and attempted sexual extortion. Before this arrest, Hames had been arrested twice on similar charges. This comes after at least 10 female tenants reported Hames making unwanted advances in exchange for lowered rent or to live on his property. A federal trial for Hames began Monday at the United States Courthouse in Huntsville. Prosecutors from the Department of Justice alleged Hames violated the Fair Housing Act by creating a hostile home environment for his tenants. They also claimed Hames evicted a few of his tenants after they refused his advances. A witness took the stand on Monday who says she lived on the property owned by Hames and with her sister. The witness stated she was just 17 years old during her first encounter with Hames. So he came and got her, went to an apartment, took her to another trailer, hoping to convince her to get her own trailer, probably where he could get free sex at her, exposed himself, and he left the room. Then she went running out. Yes, exactly. So I doubt that he prosecuted other people that's been in similar circumstances because he's a pedophile himself. Now, here's the latest. I mean, Randy Hames indicted on multiple counts of human trafficking. These were the counts where he was. Sorry, piece of crap. Sorry, excuse for a human being. Local attorney Randy Allen Hames, 76, was indicted by a Cullman County grand jury last week on multiple counts of human trafficking and other offenses. What I wonder is how many other women were there besides this? How many other kids did he do this to? He might not even just did it to the tenants because Smith Lake, there's swimming pools, there's fishing. Smith Lake is a big fishing hub right there where there's people swimming, teens, kids, whatever. This is a sicko, y'all. A very sick man, demented. So in 2000, let's see, this is 2018, right? Let's see. So he was 76 in 2018. So now it is 2024. The local attorney Randy Allen Haynes, which we went ahead and read that, the indictment stemmed from the arrest earlier this year on February 27th, March 5th, and March 10th, and involved alleged crimes against three women. Haynes' case is being presided over by Madison County Circuit Court Judge Donna Pate, which it actually ended up turning over to the federal level, as we had seen a few minutes ago. According to court documents obtained by the Tribune on Thursday, Haynes had been indicted for the following: indictment number one, second degree human trafficking, sexual extortion, soliciting prostitution, second degree stalking. Yes, stalking too. Indictment number two, first degree human trafficking, second degree human trafficking. Indictment number three, second degree human trafficking, sexual extortion, soliciting prostitution, second degree stalking. So in two of the cases, he stalked. No, let's see what that's one. The indictment number two, he did not stalk this certain person right there on indictment two. Haynes was arrested on February 22nd for two counts of second degree stalking and two counts of promoting prostitution misdemeanor charges. It needs to be more than, well, that's misdemeanors, but the trafficking should be more than that. Kayla Carricker and Tamika Bartlett accused Haynes of requesting sex for rent payments. The two lived at Haynes Trailer Park, owned by the accused. Carricker and Bartlett also accused Haynes of making crude sexual remarks to them. The two were also the first to file civil complaints against Haynes. At least four women have now filed civil complaints against him, which we have got. And this other one, it had said there's more than that. Haynes was out on bond and practicing law inside the Cullman County Courthouse when he was arrested again on March 5th for two counts of second degree human trafficking. Why was he not stricken of his law degree? When he did all that, why was he not stricken of it? He made bond the same day. Bond was $15,000 property for each count of human trafficking. A Cullman County Sheriff's Office spokesman said the Cullman County District Attorney's Office decided to move forward with the human trafficking charges after reviewing the case and speaking with the victims and others. Just only 15,000 bond property for each count of human trafficking? Excuse me? Is that all? Y'all need to go further. Haynes was arrested again on March 10th and charged with first degree human trafficking and second degree human trafficking. He was booked on an $80,000 bond. He made bond and was released again. Ay, 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 ay. According to the Alabama Criminal Code, here's human trafficking. A person commits a crime of human trafficking in a second degree if a person knowingly benefits financially or by receiving anything of value from participation in a venture or engagement for the purpose of sexual servitude of labor or labor servitude. A person knowingly recruits, entices, solicits, induces, harbors, transports, holds, restrains, provides, maintains, subjects, or obtains by any means another person for the purpose of labor servitude or sexual servitude. So he kicked them out of his rental places when they would not do that. A corporation or any other legal entity other than an individual may be prosecuted for human trafficking in the second degree for an act or omission only if an agent of the corporation or entity performs a conduct which is an element of the crime while acting within the scope of his or her office or employment and on behalf of the corporation or entity, and the commission of the crime was either authorized, requested, commanded, performed, or within the scope of the person's employment on behalf of the corporation or entity, or constituted a pattern of conduct that an agent of the corporation or entity knew or should have known was occurring, or any person who obstructs or attempts to obstruct in any way interferes with or prevents the enforcement of this section shall be guilty of a Class A misdemeanor. Human trafficking is a in the second degree is a Class B felony. So if he's got a felony, how come he was allowed to make bond in lieu of the other sexual excursions that he did? How come he was allowed to make bond? The Tribune reached out to Kathy Wilson, the chair of the Cullman County Human Trafficking Task Force, for her thoughts after Hames' third arrest this year. Here's what she had to say. Human trafficking is defined as modern day slavery and involves the use of force, fraud, or coercion to obtain some type of labor or commercial sex act. People often confuse trafficking with human smuggling, which involves movement of persons. These are not interchangeable terms. Smuggling is transportation based, and trafficking is exploitation based. I wish the language could be changed to human exploitation. About Haynes' charges, Wilson said it appears his charges are use of force or coercion to obtain some type of sexual act from its victims. Our society has been led to believe that human trafficking is based on the movie Taken, which is not true. The CCHTT encourages people to research and educate themselves as to the signs of human trafficking. We welcome concerned citizens to our meetings. Follow us on Facebook at Cullman County Human Trafficking Task Force. For more information, visit the CullmanTribune.com keyword human trafficking to see all of the articles the Tribune has published on human trafficking. All three indictments are shown below with details of the alleged crimes. Here's indictment one. Human charges, human trafficking, second degree, class B felony, sexual extortion, soliciting prostitution, stalking, second degree. He had previous bond of 15,000, then a bail fixed at 15,000. This is 24th day of 20,000. So the previous bond, and then there's bail. This is crazy. He was allowed to post bail. The grand jury of said county charged that before the filing of the indictment, Randy Allen Hunks, whose name is otherwise unknown to the grand jury, a person did on about December 15th, 2017, knowingly recruit, entice, solicit, transport, hold, restrain, provide, maintain, subject, or obtain by any means another person, to wit, Tamika Bartlett, is her name, for the purpose of labor servitude or sexual servitude, to wit, to perform sexual acts in lieu of payment for rent, in violation of Title 13A, 6153 of the Code of Alabama. Count two, the grand jury of said county further charged that before the finding of this indictment, Randy Allen Haynes, whose name is otherwise unknown to the grand jury, did attempt to commit the crime of sexual extortion under this Title 13A 6 to 41 of the Code of Alabama. He did attempt to knowingly cause another person, to wit, Tamika Bartlett, to engage in sexual intercourse, deviate sexual intercourse, sexual contact, or in sexual act, or to produce any photograph, digital image, video, film, or other recording of any person whether recognizable or not, engage in any act of sadomasochistic abuse, sexual intercourse, deviate sexual intercourse, sexual excitement, masturbation, breast nudity, genital nudity, or other sexual conduct by transmitting any communication containing any threat to injure the body, property, or reputation, or a person to witness. And he threatened the said Tamika Bartlett with eviction if she did not have sex with him in lieu of paying rent in violation of this Title 13A42 in Dakota, Alabama. This is a monster. This is a monster. And it's the judicial system's fault for even giving him a bond, giving him bail. No, and he just got through paying bond for another sexual thing. And there's got to be other victims out there, and he just continued on. And he got to get out on bond every time. The grand jury of Said County further charged that before the filing of this indictment, Randy Allen Haynes, whose name is otherwise unknown to the grand jury, did on this December 15th, 2017, commit the crime of prostitution by soliciting, compelling, or coercing any person to wit Tameka Bartlett. I would not call it prostitution. I call that rape. She was forced. She was not prostituted. She was raped. She was unwilling. The grand jury of Said County further charged that before the filing of this indictment, Randy Allen Haynes, whose name is otherwise unknown, this is what he would. He intentionally and repeatedly follow, harass, telephone, or initiate communication, verbally, electronically, or otherwise, with another person, Tamika Bartlett. Here's what he did: continuously harassed and followed Tamika Bartlett between the dates of December 20th, 2017 to January 2018, in violation of Title 13A 690.1 of the Code of Alabama. It's the peace and dignity of the state of Alabama. You're against the dignity and peace, you judges and everything who keeps allowing this. Why are you giving him a slap on the wrist? Why are you giving him a fee that he can pay and get out on? This is where he did. It must have been that young girl right there. That's why her name was blackened out, because it was a child. This was a minor child. Why did he not try? Why did he not get? Boy, why did he not get that? I wonder why. Okay, there is see, it's a day ago. And so I need to go back. Settings, audio. We hear it again.
Cullman attorney and landlord is on trial in federal court after tenants living on his property say he tried to exchange rent payments for sex. Randy Ames, owner of Ames Marina and RV Park on Smith Lake, is now charged with second-degree human trafficking, soliciting prostitution, and attempted sextortion. WAFF 48 Savannah Sapp joins us live. Savannah, you were inside the courtroom today where one woman testified that Ames also exposed himself to her, just days later evicted her.
Yes, Margaret, the Department of Defense believes similar things have happened to at least 10 other women. Investigators say Hames, on multiple occasions, solicited sexual favors from his tenants in lieu of paying rent. They also say others were evicted for turning him down. Now, today, a witness took the stand who says she had an encounter with Hames when she was just 17 and living with her sister in Hames Trailer Park. The witness claims Hames came to the home one day to collect rent and ended up bringing her to a nearby trailer to discuss renting her own home. She testified that while the two were talking, Hames exposed himself to her and made other unwanted advances to her. After she refused, the witness says Hames left to use the restroom and she ran back to her sister's home. Days later, the witness says that she was evicted from the property. Prosecutors say Hames has done this or something similar to at least 10 other tenants who lived on the property between 2008 and 2018. They say Hames was mostly renting to people without having them sign leasing agreements. Prosecutors say he targeted women and girls under the age of 21. Now, Hames' defense team said during opening statements that federal prosecutors don't have enough evidence to be able to substantiate.
Yeah, they always say that they don't have enough evidence. Why? I hope that he gets he ain't got that many years left. How old is he now? I'm laughing at you. I just see what you put about your phone is possessed by text. So y'all, remember that he was 76 years old, right? And now that was 2018. Now this is 2024. Sick. Why wasn't he caught earlier? Really, this is a little too late if you ask me. I bet there's a lot more women that this has happened to all throughout his years. I'm gonna go. Let's see. This. I'm putting what all y'all's comments are now. He knew exactly what he was doing. You are right. Glad you could hear me. Yeah, it should anger everybody hearing this. So yeah. And so he got to keep all that other kind of stuff. What about the people? What's being done to him really? Why did he get to keep his law license? Why did he go like this and get the girl who was living with a sister, knowing that she was an underage? She had every right to live under there. So basically, her sister was taking care of her. And now then she ends up getting evicted out from living with a sister, all because she would not do oral sex for him. More needs done to him. More needs done to him because I hope that did not put her to where she didn't have anywhere to go. I hope that didn't put her in a situation where she was raped or she had to end up going somewhere and being with somebody else who did some sadistic things to her. Hope it didn't put her back in a situation. There was probably a reason why she was living with her sister. Maybe it was dangerous for her at her other home. And maybe she was forced to be back in that situation, which supposed to have been safe for her at her sister's house, for all we know. You know what I'm saying? Ay, ay, ay. So this guy, we need to keep updated on this case since this was yesterday's news, and hope they throw the book at him. I hope there's more that's done for the repercussions to these people that were traumatized by this man. To me, it's like slapping these ladies in the face when they went and told. They should have got recompense too for having to find somewhere else to live. And it seems like no matter, even if they gave him sex or something, he still stalked them. Like Tamika, like the other lady, not the underage one, but the other lady. But she ran, and so she would not. That little kid, like I said, Smith Lake. That's a fishing and swimming hub right there. A lot of kids out there on these skis. Um, what are those called? Jet skis. A lot of kids out there in jet skis. There's little pools out there, little, and you also swim in the lake. It's crazy, y'all. It's crazy. And I hope he's in jail today during this trial. I hope he's not allowed to go and leave as he wants to go. I hope he's not just coming before the court case and then going back around these women. He's just going to make it easier on himself, to not be caught. Doesn't mean he wasn't going to say, "Well, you can't talk about this, but we'll do this." He probably threatens them. Well, thank you so much, y'all, and get the word out. This is crazy how this is happening. It's in Alabama, and I'm disappointed in Alabama not doing more to protect its citizens. At least 10 cases now. And what we read it was 3, but now there's 10 cases. So there's got to be other cases where some people were too afraid to stand up too. With him being 70 something years old and doing this, no telling how long that this has been going on. Sick, disgusting, piece of crap. And I wonder too, does he got any kids or grandkids that he subjects them to as well? Thank you so much. I appreciate it. This is a sicko, and y'all continue to help me to keep this story going so we find out what happens to this sorry excuse for a human being. Preying on our children, preying on our women. He didn't have to go over there to that trailer, try to convince her to go over there so that he could talk to her, maybe about having her own place, and she's underage. She's not even an adult. And then he pulls down his pants and exposes himself to the little kid, the 17-year-old. What if that was your daughter? How would y'all react? Would y'all be this ticked off too? What if this was y'all, that y'all had trouble a little bit with the rent right then because something came up because of some bill, like you had to get your car fixed and you had to pay for that car fix? Say I'm a little late. What would y'all do? Well, thank you so much, and let's have a voice for the ones that can't have a voice out there. And God bless to you. Bye bye.